Allison Hephner, and you're running for Navajo County Board of Supervisors, District 4, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about you and why you're running.
Well, my background has always been in community service. I have been a community servant for 17 years and worked in the government from first responder into administration at Navajo County and into public health. So I feel that I have the background that allows me to make better choices for the individuals at the county level as well as our community members.
Okay, what do you think is the most important thing as a person who's elected into a position for them to do for that position?
Represent all voices. I think it's critical that we have leadership that can represent uh, high, middle, and lower class individuals in Navajo County. This is all our area. I think it's critical that we have leadership that partners with other leadership, public and private, to make sure that we provide a holistic approach to government in Navajo County. I think it's very important that we understand that the government is here to serve the people. It's not the other way around. And I think that there's a culture change in that to where over the years, it's always been, kind of on an autopilot. You vote somebody in, whoever has the most signs or whoever spends the most money on their campaign. And that's not where it really should be. It should be the people who are passionate about the community, addressing the issues, admitting the issues, and making sure that everyone in Navajo County thrives.
Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about your background growing up and maybe a little bit personal things about you that you'd feel comfortable letting them know.
Oh, there's so many. I'm an open book. So I was originally from Long Beach, California. My parents moved here during the LA riots. That was the Rodney King riots caused it was scared, it kind of goes along with what we're seeing today. Well, we moved here to Navajo County. My dad's a physical therapist. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. I'm the oldest out of five. I went to Blue Ridge. My whole family graduated from Blue Ridge. I petitioned and got the first all-girl soccer team at Blue Ridge. So my sisters actually were able to play soccer, which caused me to go out to Show Low High School and Snowflake High School and say, hey, can we play you? Can we have teams? So and it happened. So I've always been really, since then on, I've been really involved in, wow, okay, we can fix this issue or we can provide this service. We just have to have the right people at the table. So from there, when I was 23 years old, I was talking to a friend of mine and about wildland, and because I love to hike and be out in the woods. And I said, you know what? I want to hike. I want to hike for dollars. That's what they call it, wildland hiking for dollars. And I said, I'm going to be a wildland firefighter. And he laughed. So at 23 years old, I entered the fire service, and at 25, I was the first full-time female firefighter of Show Low Fire Department. And I served there until 2013 when I was hired on in Navajo County as the risk manager, emergency manager, and then was there for a couple years, and then I moved into public health.
Okay, and then personally raising a family, things like that.
Yes, I was 28, single mom with my beautiful daughter Audrey, and then I met an incredible man who just came into our lives and took myself professionally, personally to a whole nother level. Gave my daughter, made her our daughter, and adopted her, which was awesome. And then we added two more to the family. We got another brilliant little girl and a little boy. And we're done, obviously. But through that, I, I've grown a lot. I think, all of us start somewhere. They say if you don't have a heart, you think with your heart. In 20s, you don't have a heart. If and then you eventually think with your brain. Um, I I'm proud to say that I'm able to think with my brain, but I also think allow my heart to speak as well, and which provides me that holistic approach. My husband, who's a great man, taught me many things, and one of the things is putting yourself in other people's shoes and realizing there's two stories always, and trying to identify with the individual and how they feel, because we need to start uniting. We need to find ways to serve our community that benefits all. And I think that we do that in our home, and I think that we do that out in the work that we do in the community. I just want to take it to the next level. I've been involved in government, like I said, for 17 years, and I've seen things that just could have been better. And I've seen people not be representative, all people not be represented. And I think that if all were, it would benefit everybody as a whole.
Cool. Okay, now I always ask any of the candidates that come here, what are the top 3 things to you that you would focus upon whenever or if you get into the position?
Social determinants of health, number one. I think for us to have a strong economy, our community needs to survive and thrive. To survive, we need to address substance abuse, poverty, and mental health. As well as adverse childhood experiences. I think those are very serious issues. I was the project manager of the Community Health Needs Assessment. I know the data in Navajo County very well. I think that if we were able to focus on social determinants of health, that package right there, that we would be able to create an atmosphere where people could go from survive to thrive, and then you would see a workforce that other areas outside would be willing to invest in.
Okay.
So that's a big one. 2, public-private partnerships. I don't think any one person should be making the decision. I think that you have to have the right people at the table. That is critical to being able to have everyone represented. And then innovation. There are things that we're so sometimes, and I'm sure you've heard this. Oh, we can't get bigger. We're this small town. We have to stay small. This is going to sound bad, but we can still stay small-minded. And I don't mean that in the negative way. I mean that in the positive way. We can be a small town still with that small town feel and have larger businesses and more people here. We just have to bring that core back in and understand that a small town is being that village. Parenting other people's kids. It's a culture change. So I guess my 3rd would be the culture change. We want to be able to know that it's okay. Like somebody yelled at our kid the other day. And I don't mean yell like, but just was like, hey, don't throw sand. And it was like, awesome, thank you. Because sometimes my kids don't listen to just me. And it doesn't just do that with kids. We need to hold people accountable to the positions they're in. We need to make sure that that culture changes so that we are representing the entire community in the most ethical and accountable way that we can.
Very good. Awesome. So finally, anything else?
Well, I would encourage people to go to my website, Allison Hephner AllisonHephner.com. And check me out. There's a lot of things that I've done in this community outside of my work. I mean, I know I've been in the government for many years, and I've gotten paid to do things, but I've always taken those things above and beyond where they needed to go. And you'll be able to see that on my website. And then finally, I just want people to know how passionate I am about the community. I love Navajo County. I love the White Mountains. I love the areas I serve: Heber, Overguard, Linden, Pinedale, Clay Springs, and Sholo. I have a lot of friends and family throughout those whole areas. So I'm here to protect the community. And one of the things that I did in protecting that community, well, I know you know, but if everybody doesn't know, is I created the orange tag, green tag system that is our evacuation process since 2011, is still there today. And I did that on my own because it was the right thing to do and it needed to get done. And that's where I am right now. I'm running because it's the right thing to do because we have a lot of things we need to get done.
Awesome. So once again, it's Allison Hephner running for Navajo County Board of Supervisors, District 4. Hey, I'm Birdman, and I want to remind everybody out there, it's your decision. It's your vote 2020. Remember that these ballots go out in late July for the early ballots, and then August 4th is the election day. So go out there and vote.